What is going on, everybody? My name is Jacob Forster, and today I have a very special video for you all in honor of Little to the Left's DLC Seeing Stars coming out on June 25th. Secret Mode and Max Inferno are sponsoring this video so that I can, first of all, check out a little bit of the DLC early, as well as go over some of my top 10 favorite puzzles that I've done so far within A Little to the Left. If you're not familiar, the DLC is coming out again on the 25th of June. You can go ahead and wishlist it, pre-order it at any of the available locations where you bought the base game. And the puzzles in there, we're gonna get 33 new levels. A lot of it is gonna focus on the multiple solutions. So there's 100 different stars to kind of acquire throughout the game. Very excited for that. And of course, there's more interactivity, fun things that you can do with the actual environments in the puzzles, and there's more cats. But anyway, I'm so very excited. Again, so happy that they wanted to sponsor this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my top 10, and make sure you stick around till the end. That's where we're gonna be checking out one of the brand new puzzles. So this one here, I would say this is number 10 on one of my top puzzles from the game. As you can see, and if you saw my original video of this.
Okay, I guess let's get to work.
I had so much trouble with this one. And I'm gonna kind of pause in these and going through, but I remember that, like, looking at this at the very beginning and just being like, oh my gosh, like, this is so much complexity. I need to balance all the boxes on top of each other. I gotta align these little pieces of tape as we go and all these little arrows.
I think we need to go under this.
And
so going over here, we need the yellow piece.
The best part about this,
right up here.
The best part about this is when I was going through, I didn't realize. You can probably see the issue here. That you can place these boxes on the outer corners. So this one took me quite a long time, and I was really just sitting with it for a while, and it wasn't until this moment over here. Yeah, it wasn't until this moment.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Then I started figuring everything out.
I didn't know I could use the whole screen.
Oh man.
This changes everything.
So this one was just absolutely, just blew my mind when I realized that the rest of the screen was usable, which is such a silly thing to look back at in retrospect. But my goodness.
So we move this here.
It was so satisfying when I finally got these in place, ready to go, and finally solved this solution here.
Oh my gosh. What's inside?
And of course,
kitty.
Little kitty pops out.
All right, don't come at me too hard on that one.
That was a good one. A lot of people had a lot to say about that one afterwards in the comments. But anyway, on to puzzle number top 9. So my 9th top puzzle is one here from the Little Something Extra, which is obviously within the archives now currly. And there's something about just the simplicity of how these puzzles are set up, all of the different solutions that you can do, and just me kind of finding like, oh,
these as well.
You can do color options.
Crap. Crap. There we go.
And then realizing that it doesn't actually work just like that. Having to find these kind of different complex little pieces.
And you go there.
And you can see where I'm realizing that this doesn't work. So then you have to go through and find out
what have I done wrong?
That the actual bases matter, the little squigglies in the egg holder matters. And this one was really fun for me to kind of go through and realize what was actually correct. This is so fun. This is so fun to see me kind of coming back to these. I think what I really enjoyed about this one was how
very mild wave.
They were trying to trick us. They've gotten us through this game with certain kind of ideas about what should and shouldn't work throughout the game.
No.
I forgot. I even forgot that it was.
What if we go the other direction? Big too small?
Oh man.
Okay, let's do it by how many waves there are.
Bringing back memories of this.
See if that will work. Oh my gosh. What? There's 3 ways to solve that? Oh boy.
It's so good.
Boy.
It's so good.
Alright, let's try that again.
But obviously just kind of going through with these puzzles, it's fun to see how they kind of mixed up the formula here and there between, okay, this is a pretty straightforward puzzle of just kind of lining these pieces up, or kind of doing a height-based or maybe a color-based puzzle. And I think why this one is in my top 10 is just because it has these multiple solutions that are not necessarily immediately understandable based on how you've played the game before. So it was a nice kind of change of pace from some of the other ones. But yeah, on to number 8. Okay, so this one,
Same height.
this one is in my top 10 because it seems like there's so many different solutions to it. Of course, there are 2. There's 2 different solutions that we had for this one, but
both of those colors.
My first ever interaction with this, I was just
purple,
overthinking it so much.
Getting into some red.
And trying to like kind of combine all these different pieces and touches together.
Same red with like a...
If I just watch this interaction of me trying to do it, I'll be here for 20 minutes. So I am going to fast forward to towards the end where I start getting the solution for this one. So within this portion of it, you really kind of get to the point where I was just guessing every little possible solution. And then I started realizing
we're stepping up now.
that the spine had these little lines across them. And I realized I just had to kind of make this ascending kind of line for itself to finally come across and solve the solution. This one was great. I remember having just so much just like brain freeze trying to get through it and trying to make all of these solutions and finally getting through it. So this one was fantastic. But on to number 7 of my top 10 puzzles. This is another one that's available from the archive.
Now we're doing with the ornaments.
This was originally one of the holiday puzzles, and I don't know what it is, just
wacky.
Something about the simplicity of
imagine if you just have like this
throwing these into your little box with all the packing peanuts. It's just a very cute, relaxing one, and definitely deserves to be in the top 10 for me. I remember just getting through these different puzzles here and just being like, man, this is just such a fun, such a relaxing little thing.
Everything fits back in place.
My first video of these was in January 2023, so it's been about a year and a half since I started playing A Little to the Left, and it's just been such a sweet thing to kind of sit down and really just enjoy all of these. But having to kind of piece together and find just the perfect little spots for these is what's always so nice. And one thing that I think I like the most about all of the puzzles in A Little to the Left are how fun the designs are, the little pieces and parts that you have to move around and get together. It's just such a fun little thing. And of course, once you start getting it, and then you have the final little pieces.
Not in its right spot, and I think it's that one because that goes there, and then you go up here.
It's just so satisfying. Yes. It's so satisfying once it's finally solved.
Love it. Oh, perfect.
Number 6 on my list was this one from the base game.
Oh, this is
I have a soft spot for just putting things in their place, not necessarily finding the perfect little orientation.
Pieces.
Those are always fun. But something like this, just to kind of sit through and put things away to make sure they feel right. It was so fun.
Very complex. I can feel it already. Let's put you right here. I think that might be a good spot for you.
I remember sitting in here and recording this, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I think is
this is going to be so complicated and going to take so long, but eventually you really start getting like each little piece, you find their little sections.
Back in the day.
And of course, once all of the bigger things start getting in place,
woodworking stuff,
you keep getting those smaller ones kind of placed in further and further, which is really cool. And of course, as it gets a little bit further along,
This will go
you start to
around some-
find these
Ooh, get out of
odd-shaped
the nails.
pieces that can potentially kind
Right
of
there?
squeeze in
Yeah, okay,
to
I
these
think
other
that's good.
spots that I wasn't too sure about.
Another long boy. Ooh, little circle guy.
The way they just fit into place
The
is
only
so
other
good.
spot for that is another screwdriver. You go here, and then you're here.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's so satisfying. I'm gonna say that every time I finish one of these. Get a little bit of organization.
But it's just so sweet because once you're just stuck in chaos first, and then as soon as you get that final little piece in place and you solve the solution, having it all just be this nice structured piece, that's always the best part of it. Always the best part. But on to the next one in my top 10. So this one is my top 5 puzzles out of the 10.
Little
And what I love about this one in particular
something.
is just the
Oh, weird.
Just the
Okay.
fun
this
nature
feels
of
like
it.
we're learning everything that we've learned.
I love seeing my reaction. It's been a while since I
and
played
taking
these.
it back with us.
But just having like this kind of this puzzle having the
see.
mirror in it
So this needs to line up.
to have these reflections and having to
some
move the
capacity
pieces
with the
over
mirror.
and over was a really nice
Maybe
touch
with
for
perspectives overall.
how the other puzzles were at this point in
So those are in
time.
play.
I remember this
It's
took me a
just the
while for
lid.
some of these where I couldn't figure out how to open up some of the, or rather just didn't know that I could open up some of these
Where's the
boxes
other lemon?
to put some pieces in. There was one that almost made the list here, and that was the bathroom
Where's the other
cabinet
one go?
with a bunch of the Q-tips that were having to be put in there, because that one was a bit tricky as well. And then once we got everything lined up,
open it
this
up?
was the most difficult part of figuring out what to do here until
I see.
I saw in the mirror
Oh my gosh.
that there's
Oh my
actually a little
gosh.
latch that you can get and throw the
Oh my
little
gosh.
skull into. And that was such a cool part of this
wild.
one.
That's wild.
That it was wild. It was wild. It was such a cool little aspect of it, and I really, really enjoyed that puzzle. It was such a fun one. But on to the next puzzle.
So fun.
Number 4 on my list, the little pantry of goodies.
General groceries.
I don't know what it is about this one. It just the simplicity of it.
I'm sure this is.
Just having a
so
few
can't take
little
these
pieces here and there.
Oh, I broke it. Here.
And trying to figure out what the commonality was for this puzzle, how to actually get it all to come to its solution. It's not a particularly challenging
so height is
puzzle
not
compared to some of the other ones.
But
But you can see right here is where I was like, oh, okay,
interestingly,
this
enough,
kind of
some
lines
these are
up.
combining together.
And just finding those tiny little pieces that kind of get you through to start getting the solution for the puzzle is
So yeah,
was sweet.
Yeah,
But me sitting in the corner over here, I'm just like, what is it? What could it be?
Oh, hold on. No.
I'm just overcomplicating it for myself.
It matches with these. So
Which I do at times. I tend to do that.
that one's actually
yeah.
in place right there.
And so they do kind of fall into place as well,
Oh,
which
okay, they're
makes some
actually
of
falling
these
in place.
earlier puzzles a little bit easier too.
Got it. Oh, cool.
There we go.
Oh yeah, and that lined up right there.
But yeah, once you actually start seeing them kind of fall into place, that's probably one of my little favorite things about some of these puzzles is just that kind of, oh, you're getting it, you're solving it, you get the little pieces right where they need to be and they kind of snap into place. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just so satisfying. So satisfying once you actually get it. But I love that one. I absolutely love that one. But on to the next one. And now for the
over to
top
the next puzzle?
3, we have one from the Cupboards and Drawers DLC.
Oh, there's multiple drawers.
I loved
This is gonna be rough.
I loved the
You got a
fact that
little
you
ice
had to
It's right in there.
figure out between 2 separate instances.
Tie.
It basically doubled the size of this entire puzzle
Little
panel.
muffin tin things.
Because you had to kind of think spatially, like, all right, I got a couple things over here in this drawer, got a couple things in the other drawer,
Healer.
and having to just
Healer have a
find
big
out
spot
where
here?
each of these little pieces go.
Ah.
You'll see a common theme here with
Goes
my
up
top
here?
3. I really enjoy just the general organization puzzles. They end up being very fun for me. Just a sweet little
Is that honey?
kind of thing
Little
to
honey packet?
finish up the puzzles. I remember when I was playing this
Okay, well,
particular
here
puzzle,
now.
I was just thinking, I was like, man, I should do
you go
this.
here.
with my own drawer at home.
Bread tie.
Having my own little organizational
bread tie.
party at home would be pretty fun. Finding little sections like this is always great as well, where
this one just goes right
you thought something went in the right little slot, and then you had to pick it back up
there. So maybe there's a tiny
and try somewhere else.
Here? No. Oh. Oh.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
One of the things that I really enjoy about these kinds of puzzles is like this, the interactivity you have.
Like all of the little parts and
with the toothpicks.
It's so good.
And just seeing all the fun little things that are just around. It's just common household items, truly, at its core.
I'm scared.
But the design that was put into this game just makes it so cute, and having these little pieces, it kind of gives you memories of things. So like seeing these little spoons, I kind of remember spoons like that were like in my parents' house growing up.
We just had one of these in our house.
Yeah,
but I never knew what it was for.
And just kind of reminiscing on these little details.
Strange little kitchen utensils.
And I love in
that spot
kind of the final moments of these particular organization puzzles.
So it looks like
is you start to get everything in their right places, but then you have to figure out how some of these little pieces kind of fit together in their spaces.
Oh no.
And this one was a little tricky because I wasn't quite sure between each of these kind of bread ties. You got the traditional like weird
let's set these
pokey ones,
right now. Let's take care of
and then you just have those like almost like zip ties, but not zip ties.
That's not right because there's only 3 of them.
So then I realized, I was like, oh yeah, I think I have to bring those back over to that section. Get them all fitting perfectly.
Yeah, so those perfect like kind of fit into each other. So now we can use the bread ties, and they should be fitting in perfectly in this new space.
And this is the best part right here, is when you finally get this last piece and then realize,
so good. Oh look at that, and they all follow
I've done
a line of each other.
Something wrong. Until
I was like, why isn't this right?
You have to organize the relish, mustard, and ketchup.
Oh, so good.
Which is so fun, so very fun. All right. But yeah, there's just the way that you organize these ones, so sweet. I love it so much, and yeah, it's definitely within the top 3, and especially being from the Cupboards and Drawers DLC, it's very sweet. But off to top 2 of my 10 puzzles. So of course, with my top 2, I had to come back to the original puzzle from the first video I had of A Little to the Left. And once again, we have another drawer that we get to organize and try to get all these little teeny tiny pieces right into place.
Maybe you guys go here.
And what's so sweet about this one is, again, similar to the last one.
So it definitely wouldn't fit there if that's the case.
You have these tiny little things that you're just trying to organize into their perfect spot. And then on top of that, having to organize them by each of their numbers, which is very fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Cool.
And as you're kind of going through all of the
you know what?
teeny tiny little things,
here, depending on how many we have,
get to start organizing the chaos just a little bit more throughout your puzzle solving. And you start to see where this kind of negative space comes into play, and you're like, all right, this little thing slots in perfectly here. And you can visually start to see all of it coming together, which is wonderful. So now I'm just straight up guessing at this point where some of these might fit into until I really start to find that solution.
Little push pins.
But then you find things like the push pins, which there's only 3 of, and they perfectly align with these 3 little spots.
The batteries are going here then. That seems like a good spot. Scissors.
Get little scissors.
Q-tip. Why do you have
little
just a single
Q-tip
in this box? It's very bizarre.
And then finally, I'm like, okay, this is where I can start to put
6, and then
all the dice.
Right here. Yeah, cool.
And then once it's all together, you just have such a satisfying little finish.
So sad.
But obviously, as you go throughout, you're just sitting there and being like, oh, what do we do? What are these little pieces here and there? And yeah, it's just so satisfying. It really is once you get those final little pieces in there. But I know you're all excited. Moving on to my favorite puzzle, one of my favorite puzzles in A Little to the Left. Here it is. Cool. So here's number 1. This is my favorite one. As you can see by my excitement. Having all of these little drawers. Again, this is from the Covers and Drawers DLC.
This reminds me of I Spy. I loved playing I Spy as a kid. I still have all my books.
It's true. It's true. I do still have all my books.
This little scenery reminds me so much of I Spy. Love it.
What I particularly enjoyed about this one is
where should I be?
Just kind of the childhood joy that you get moving around all of these little bits and pieces of games and toys and things that you might have messed around with growing up.
Just and gummy bears just chilling in here.
Having, again, the complexity of some of the other ones that I enjoy so much, which is just general organization, but also having it have this kind of childlike feeling to it really gave me such a love for this. And this one ended up being a little bit more complex just because there are a lot of really small things, like one-off little pieces kind of here and there that I wasn't too sure exactly where they would fit into. But obviously, everything just kind of starts coming together one by one as you slowly get each little piece in its place. So this is a fun little section. I finally was giving up on all the smaller pieces. So I'm like, okay, why don't I go ahead and make this little game board that should be on the top? And that's another really important thing about some of these puzzles, and what helps me get to the solution is trying to stick with like one kind of form and function at a time. Because a lot of times there's just so much chaos in the kind of mishmash of little trinkets that are around the map. Sometimes it's better to either organize them into their little sections or kind of solve one little section at a time. So this was fun to kind of get through and try to figure out even just this top piece of the board. And after a lot of work, finally started getting them all together.
This is incredible. We did it. Top section. It's completed.
So now at this point, we just need to figure out all the rest of just the drawers themselves.
In its little spaces.
So just a little bit further along, got everything in their little drawers. I thought I had it.
Because of the stupid heart. You go here, you go here. No.
Almost had it again.
You go here. You go here. No! What am I missing here?
I was so confused about this section.
Oh my gosh, does that go there?
And there it is, the fully finished solution.
Oh my gosh, and it just keeps getting crazier.
But yeah, so those are my top 10 puzzles that I think I've played so far within A Little to the Left. There's just so much fun with them. There's so much fun. I loved sitting through that puzzle in particular, the number 1. Just again, I was mentioning at the beginning, just having these kind of childhood memories kind of come back to you while solving the puzzles. It just creates such a sweet little thing. Such a sweet little thing to kind of experience and go through. But I know this is what you all have been waiting for. So now it's time to check out the next generation of A Little to the Left puzzles with a puzzle from the Seeing Stars DLC. So let's check it out. Ooh, here we are. A Little to the Left, Seeing Stars. So we're gonna go ahead and check out just one of the puzzles here at the start. I love this little opening screen here. We got a little Tamagotchi, you got a baseball, Saturn, cactus, black hole. This is gonna be spectacular. But yeah, let's go ahead and see. Oh my gosh. Oh my, okay, there's a lot. So I really wanted to hopefully go through and maybe hand select one, but of course you need to be able to play the game through in order. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the first one. Might do a couple solutions for you all. Some crackers, some shrimp, some little tasty treats for the DLC. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just make myself a nice little shrimp sandwich, I would guess. So what do we do first? We do a little bit of you, a A little bit of you, maybe some, oh no. Okay, these definitely don't work together. So let's, oh, they're different. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so you can go, oh, you go over here. You go here? Oh, we're making multiple little sandwich crackers. Oh, what do I put? Oh, of course. Of course, we have to add together the little bitten pieces here and there. Little tomato basil. Got a cucumber in Swiss. And our little shrimp and olive. Okay, so there's 3 solutions for this one. Let's go ahead and try this again. I'm trying to think of what the other solutions might actually be for this one, though. Is it maybe the order that I placed them in? Somehow? Oh, it's how big of a bite, isn't it? It's how big of a bite. Hold on. This is the widest bite. Compare these two. Okay, I think this one is the next biggest bite, right? That would make sense. Ooh, I like this music. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I forgot the cheese. Hold on. Gotta get a little Swiss in here. Gotta get a tomato. Wait, was that the same solution? No, it was the same solution. Okay. Well, darn. Well, what else could I be doing? What if I stack up just these little ones? No, I'm seeing something else here. Hold on. The shapes. Oh my gosh, it's the shapes. Okay. Okay, so that's perfectly shaped. Oh, I see it. You, oh my gosh, are diamond. And then these are all circular. Ah, cool. Okay, cool. Oh, I like this. I really like this. All right, let's do it again. We gotta find the third solution. So, up next, I have no idea where to start. Wait a second. I think I know. I think I might know. This cracker has holes in it. This cheese has holes in it. And the olive has a hole in it. I guess. But then what does that mean for the other ones? We got this one with seeds? Tomato has seeds? And so does a cucumber. So then what's left except for no holes, no seeds? Technically no hole, no seeds. No hole, no seeds? Oh, let's go! Oh, great. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, sweet. So got through that. Oh, this is gonna be very, very good. I am so excited for this. Oh, I just want to keep playing more, but this is a video just to showcase one of these puzzles. Obviously, this is the intro to it, so this is gonna be much more simple, I can tell, from what our next kind of set of puzzles are going to be. We have 100 star solutions to go through. That's insane. As a reminder, I will be doing a playthrough of this here on YouTube, so keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed for that. But again, such a huge thank you to Secret Mode as well as Max Inferno for sponsoring this video, for reaching out. They've always been so kind to me with making these videos about their game, and they're always so sweet. They're always so sweet to work with and to get to interact with and be able to play games for them. So it's very sweet. It's very sweet, and just again a huge thank you. Make sure you go support the developers. Go check out this DLC for yourself. Again, it releases on June 25th. But of course, in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings. What was your top 10? Or rather just the top puzzle from my original playthrough. And if you're not already subscribed, like I mentioned, consider doing so. Hit that bell notification, that we know exactly when I'm uploading any new videos. And if you'd like to see any more content from me, welcome to follow me on any of my other socials, always listed in the description down below. But of course, that all being said, you all are awesome. You all are amazing. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next video. Later.